And welcome into Texarkana Game Day for a Red River Athletic Conference showdown between the Texas A&M-Texarkana Eagles and the LSU-Alexandria Generals. I'm John Wiggins, next to Zach Doty here in the Patterson Student Center for this conference matchup. These two teams met on December 13th, where A&M walked away with a 76-74 victory. They were going to be without two starters from that game, but due to the pregame warm-ups, you see Eliana Brown, who was the leading scorer for the Eagles, is back, as well as Maya Pettit, who should be back in the lineup. So the Eagles are looking healthier, coming off of 2 wins in a row. In that game, Briance George went for 20 points and was the game-high leading scorer. Zach, first thing is we just got the starting lineups, folks. Zach, first thoughts on tonight's game?
I'm really excited. You know, this is game one of our doubleheader that we're going to have with the girls and the boys. And just kind of looking at that previous matchup, it was kind of a barn burner in both ends. You know, this women's game was a 2-point deficit in favor of the Lady Eagles. And then the boys' game, an overtime thriller, 99, I believe 90 was the final score in that one. And so I think we're in for some really good basketball once again here at A&M-Texarkana. We're really glad to be here and interested in seeing some local talent once again on the court.
Yeah, and this is going to be a good game. The matchup with all these Louisiana teams in the Red River Athletic Conference, they're typically top-notch. As you look at the standings, LSU Shreveport is undefeated in conference play, and the Eagles are just behind them 2 spots, 3rd place in the standings. They're looking for a win to expand their 3-game lead over LSU-Alexandria, currently that they possess entering tonight. Let's get the starting lineups for the Eagles. Chioma Treasure M.A., sophomore guard, has been a typical starter this year for the Eagles, as well as Imani Rothschild, Briance George, senior guard, and Cheyenne Daly, who's been on a tear. We'll mention more about her later on, as well as Nayla Zatrine, who has started all but 1 game. We were expecting the national anthem, but about 4 minutes out from that.
I would say, you know, coming in, I haven't been able to watch these ladies so far but I already see a name that I'm quite familiar with in Nayla Zatrine, Falk homegrown, a part of a really dominant Falk team that we saw a few years under Coach Mo Williams, and some squads that, you know, set records. They ended up going undefeated in their regular season that one year, and, you know, just an incredible team, and Nayla was a big part of that, and I'm excited to see her here at the college level, and I know that she's going to make a big impact for her team here tonight.
And I believe Falk, they played a game here last year.
Yeah, they played Hooks here, and I believe Hooks ended up coming out with the victory in that one. I don't remember off the top of my head, but that was a fun one here, and a really cool showcase here at A&M-Texarkana. You know, a lot of things being built here. You know, the football program's coming, a lot of new facilities, a lot of new programs, and, you know, just top-notch things happening at A&M-Texarkana right now.
Yeah, and for the Eagles, they're coming off of 2 wins in a row entering this one. LSU-Alexandria coming off of 3 wins in a row. They've been at home for 5 games in a row. They've typically, along with LSU Shreveport, have been among the top of the conference, but a down year for them as they are entering with a 9-10 record. That's not typical of them. As for the A&M Eagles, they've already surpassed their conference win total of last year in Deacon Jones' first season, winning 9 games in the conference just last year and already 10 wins this year. A quick turnaround for the new-look Eagles this year in Deacon Jones' first year. And I was told pregame, Zach, we were having suits for everyone at the scorer's table and the coaches. We know that athletic director Ryan Wall likes to drip it out with the suits. But Deacon Jones, who's typically in the hoodie, he's going to have to rock a suit tonight, apparently.
He's already down there on the bench rocking that blazer. I see him. Looking good.
It's going to be a great atmosphere here tonight in the Patterson Student Center. And entering tonight, the Eagles are coming off of a week layoff as opposed to coming off with just a few days where they would normally play on Saturday. That game against Jarvis Christian was postponed due to the winter storm. However, because it's a conference game, it will have to be played at some point. And for the A&M-Texarkana Eagles, a full week's rest, coming off of a win against Texas College. And here they are, again, with a little bit of help back from the injury report. Evelyn Terraza Alcantar, who broke her hand earlier in the season, she's now back in the lineup. We don't know if she's going to start, but she looks good in pregame warm-ups, and it should be a fun matchup.
Yeah, absolutely. The Lady Eagles looking to continue their home win record. Coming in with 6-3 at home. The Lady Generals coming in at 5-5 on the road, and so both of those teams looking to improve those records. 11-7 overall for the Lady Eagles, 9-10 overall for the Lady Generals. You mentioned earlier 10-3 conference record for the Eagles, as a 8-6 conference record for the Generals.
We will have the national anthem coming up in just a matter of seconds.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Patterson Student Center for tonight's basketball matchup between the LSU-Alexandria Generals and the A&M-Texarkana Eagles. Ladies and gentlemen, will you please rise and remove your hats as we honor America with the performance of our national anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, the introduction of tonight's starting lineups. First for the visitors, the LSU-Alexandria Generals. Number 1, Reese Stevens. Number 3, Addison Walker. Number 12, Sydney Person. Number 22, Kelly Norris. Number 40, Justice Young. The assistant coach for the Generals is Celeste Perkins, and the head coach is Billy Perkins. Starting lineup for the A&M-Texarkana Eagles. Starting at guard, a 5'5" sophomore from Houston, Texas, number 3, Trauma Treasure Emma. Starting at point guard, a 5'6" senior from New Orleans, Louisiana, number 5, Amani Rothschild. Starting at guard, a 5'6" senior from Lafayette, Louisiana, number 10, Beyonce George. Starting at guard, a 5'5" senior from Peoria, Illinois, number 11, Tryon Daly. And at forward, a 5'10" sophomore from Doddridge, Arkansas, number 13, Nayla Zatrine. Assistant coach for the Eagles is MC Vogt, and the head coach is Deacon Jones.
And welcome in as we get started with this one. Just tip off in a matter of a couple of minutes. John Wiggins here, Zach Doty on the call for the Texas A&M-Texarkana Eagles on this broadcast brought to you by Texarkana Gameday. Starting lineups are up and the team's ready to get out there. A&M Eagles looking for a third consecutive victory. Their last two were decided in convincing fashion and trying to keep that hot streak alive at home.
Before we get started real quick, we want to thank our game sponsor for tonight, Red River Credit Union. Sports the credit union way. Thank you to Red River Credit Union for their sponsorship not only of this game, but really all of Texas A&M Texarkana athletics. You know, they're going to be the premium sponsor of that new football stadium and the new athletics facility, hosting new baseball, softball, kind of, you know, all a grab bag of everything over there at that new facility. So we appreciate Red River Credit Union for their sponsorship here tonight.
A lot of great things happening here at A&M Texarkana Athletics.
Absolutely. Coach Wall and, you know, everybody here at A&M Texarkana have been doing a great job improving facilities, you know, going to make up that jump to Division II in a couple years. So exciting times here in Texarkana.
Absolutely. And so here we are to jumping off. Justice Young, the big for Louisiana State Alexandria. Tell you what, all the LSU schools really commit to that purple and gold.
Mm-hmm. Well, so they fall under that LSU branch, you know, and with A&M Texarkana, they used to have that maroon color in there with the white, but they've kind of become their own thing with the navy blue and the gold.
That's right, fading it out, new era. Eagles control the opening tip. Attack the middle zone with George. Nice dump off to Zatrine underneath. Alexandria coming out with the zone, and they pick it apart pretty nicely.
Really nice way for the Eagles to start with that quick bucket by Zatrine down low. Really good ball movement. Great job so far by the Lady Eagles.
Pickpocketed nearly. Imani Rothschild almost came away with a steal at the top. Kelly Norris struggling on the drive, dumps it off the hands of Justice Young, and it's a turnover. So a good start for the Eagles.
Absolutely. Opportunity to create a two-score ball game here quickly, only 30 seconds in.
Eagles got started off a little slow last week in the first half. And 2 games ago in their blowout win over a Lady of the Lake, they got started off fast. See how they start off here. Rothschild lets one rip from deep. And it goes for 3.
Man, talk about a way to open a game. You get 2 quick buckets on your first 2 possessions on offense, and then this defense is already kind of swarming the Generals.
Always great when you can play complementary basketball on each side. Justice Young gets the inside, off the board. Rebound for LSU-Alexandria is good by Sydney Person.
Good answer there by the Lady Generals.
That's going to be the matchup to watch inside. They got a lot of size, Alexandria does. And we'll dive into more about Sydney Person. Nice pass in the middle of the zone. George lets one fly from deep. She's good. Her second three-pointer of the new year.
This Lady Eagles team not afraid to let it drain from deep.
Briance George is typically not a three-point shooter. And now Alexandria is struggling to get it up the court. A lot of on-ball pressure thus far for the Eagles. They lived off the full-court press in the first month of the season. And this is a return of it tonight. We haven't seen much of it lately. Kelly Norris, left wing, catches a screen from Young. Driving, got the mismatch, dishes it off instead. 7 on the shot clock. Great defense and rally. Sydney Person lets it fly. Off the mark, rebound, Briance George.
Really impressed by the switch defense there to create that perimeter defense and kind of switch on defenders. You know, they can kind of defend 1 through 5. Really good job by the Lady Eagles so far.
2 3-pointers thus far for the Eagles offense. Rothschild has one of them, thought about it. Over the hill pass across the court. Daly driving, doesn't find the glass. Zatrine on the way up on the board, and she's fouled. She'll go to the free throw stripe.
Really good job by Nayla. We, talked about it at the beginning, seeing her at that high school level. She was such a dominant force inside, kind of showing herself there. That foul was called on the floor, so they'll take it in the inbound off the baseline.
That's right. I thought she went up with it, but nevertheless, that had some contact on CTE's shot. Doesn't get the call. Treasurer May hits the deck and a steal by Justice Young. Reese Stevens can't handle it on the other way, and a turnover from Alexandria.
Another testament of that defense from the Eagles. They're having to work so fast on offense. It's kind of getting them messed up to where they're having to make a little bit careless passes.
We've already seen a three-pointer from Briance George. That's rare for her. Inside pass to Zatrine was there. She's intercepted by Sydney Person. Full court pace, and Kelly Norris is going to let it fly from deep range, off the mark, rebound by Addison Walker, and that's good for 2. 8-4 here early. 7 minutes to go. Rothschild. Imade sizes down her defender. Trying to manipulate this zone from side to side. Here's a nice pass. George. How about another one for Briance George?
And talk about coming up big in big situations, not being that three-point threat, but she's made 2 huge ones to begin this game already.
Treasurer May gets a steal. And the Eagles are off running. George feeling it, driving, dishes, beautiful pass. Rejected. And not a foul, but it's going to be LSU ball.
I thought originally he was going to call a jump ball the way that the Generals were able to get a hand on whenever Zatrine was going up. Not quite sure what the call ended up being. Maybe he ended up calling a travel off of it as Zatrine came back down with the ball, but I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, I couldn't tell. And a lot of times on those, it may tend to be a jump ball, but nevertheless.
He seemed hesitant to call it, though.
He did,
It was kind of weird.
Not demonstrative. High post, Justice Young. She sails down inside. Post move, off the glass, beautifully.
Really pretty move there.
They definitely got the size advantage inside with this guard-dominant lineup for the Eagles, as they already snatch into their bench with Demetria Smith and Unique McBride checking in. Nice pass. Knifing inside is Daly. Gather off the back of the rim. No good for Rothschild. Good pace to this game already. If they could try and work it inside, they have a massive size advantage. McBride breaks it up. Demetria Smith on the fast break. Gathers off the glass and good.
Really good lead pass to get it down to her. Good job corralling that as well, faking the jump up to the rim, able to get a clean shot.
Demetria Smith coming off her season high of 9 points off the bench last game. Inside pass, Young. Can't corral it. Briance George is there. Now it's a scramble. Jump ball.
Yep.
Take our first time out at around the 5-minute mark here on Texarkana Game Day.
We'll be right back after this.
Sports injuries can happen anytime, on the field, on the court, and even in your backyard. At Texarkana Emergency Center and Hospital, we treat sprains, fractures, concussions, and more with fast, compassionate care close to home. We're open 24/7 with on-site imaging like x-rays, ultrasounds, CT scans, and MRI for quick, accurate diagnosis and treatment all in one place. Let us help you get back to the game faster. Visit TexarkanaEmergencyCenter.com for more information.
Welcome back to A&M-Texarkana basketball. John Wiggins alongside Zach Doty. Just about 5 minutes into this one. Eagles possessing a 7-point lead.
Yeah, really good job so far by the Lady Eagles. I've been very impressed, with the defense and the offense kind of doing a little bit of everything. It's been very impressive the way that they're kind of able to mix it up in different ways. And you mentioned Briance George, not necessarily known for that three-point ability, but she has been lighting it up for three so far. Been very impressive so far, and just kind of their ability to create different shots in different ways has been huge.
And that is really not Briance George's game. She had 20 points, we mentioned, in their first meeting with Alexandria. 0 3-point attempts with those 20 points. And she's on the board for 6 already from downtown.
Well, and so with this being kind of the second time that you're going through your conference play, you switch it up a little bit, but also you know how to play the teams a little bit different as well. And so that's kind of an advantage for the Lady Eagles here.
Treasure May inside. Missed out on her receiver. Intended for Demetria Smith. Caitlin Blake on the drive. Swatted away by Cheyenne Daly. Rothschild has been in the whole time thus far. Bounce pass to the corner, intercepted. And that pass can't get a fast break started for Alexandria, who's had a few fast break opportunities thus far, pushing the pace. Just 6 points. New players for LSU-Alexandria as well. Justice Young not in the ball game. She's already penetrated the paint. There's a shot by Princess Goff that won't go off the back heel. Nice pull-up jumper from the elbow, about 14 feet for Treasure May, who gets on the board for her first bucket.
Absolutely beautiful shot. We talk about it so much, you know, we do the high school games so much of, you know, the mid-range jumper is kind of a dead shot almost, but it feels like. So whenever you see it and executed so well, it's really cool to see, and a great job there, again, with another steal for the Eagles.
Unique McBride with the pickpocket, pull-up jumper. Running floater, can't go. Inside pass. Oh, she wanted Demetria Smith. Just sneaked too far late on the pass. And you mentioned the mid-range. These Eagles love working from the mid-range. Treasure May, one of them. Cheyenne Daly, as well as Demetria Smith, who scores exclusively from mid-range. She's on the court right now as well. Lineup change. Terrellyn Sweeney has checked in for the Eagles. They feed McBride at the free throw stripe in the middle of the zone for 2.
Beautiful shot, another homegrown Texarkana native out of Texas High School. Good to see another Texarkana own on the court.
She's been impressive with her freshman season off the bench. A&M-Texarkana forcing a scoring drought here as of late. Since Justice Young went out, she's back in, and what do you know?
Really good job there working with that size advantage down low, and McBride trying her hardest to kind of force a steal out of it, knowing that she had that size difference.
There is Demetria Smith's mid-range that we mentioned. Won't go off the back heel. Princess Goff with the rebound. 2.5 to go in the first. Inside pass. And fouled from behind. I believe they're going to assess that to Cheyenne Daly. Zach, they're really working the inside. I mean, they obviously, on the scouting report, have the size advantage. And they're using that right now on every possession. Kind of just feed it to Justice Young. And the Eagles have had no real answer for it.
Yeah, and it almost feels like that's the only way that they've been able to create shot opportunities as well. You know, with that defense being so hard, they're not able to do anything on the perimeter. As we see an offensive foul here, it'll go on the other way and be Eagles ball.
Great defense, intensified defense from the Eagles tonight. Kelly Norris has checked back in for Alexandria. They feed the middle of the zone again. Treasure May trapped from behind. Sweeney, Unique McBride, high rising floater from mid-range, 19-8. And Zach, there goes the mid-range again.
Absolutely, a beautiful job so far by the Lady Eagles. And unless the general step up and defend it, why not take that shot?
And why not take it into Justice Young territory down low? She gets fouled. Assessed to Treasure May, her first of the ball game.
Definitely feels like the Generals so far have been able to kind of get the ball up the floor a little bit better as we get deeper into this first period. And as they're able to do that, they're able to work inside. And it's just been all Justice Young so far, it feels like, out of Homer, Louisiana.
A lot of Louisiana products. I was just read my mind mentioning Louisiana. About to mention that 12 players from Louisiana-Alexandria on this ball club. And then, Deacon Jones, also from Louisiana, spent over a decade at Louisiana Lafayette. And 4 players for the Eagles, also from the Bayou. We'll mention some of those notes later. A lot of high school basketball great in Louisiana. Sweeney gets picked apart by the defense. Reese Stevens with the steal. Kelly Norris trying to get a fast break. Justice Young straight on, too strong. Board by Zatrine. Sweeney. Rothschild, who likes it, off the rim. Trying to go for a second 3 of the ball game. In the corner, nice drive by Sydney Person, who floats one in for her first basket of the ball game.
Really good run by the Generals so far. They've been able to pick up their own pace and kind of figure things out as they've gone along.
Sweeney pulls up from the elbow, off the mark, foul underneath. They're going to assess that to, I read 15 with his hands, but I don't believe there's a 15 on the court.
Maybe he meant
25, Maya Pettit, who's back from being out for the last few weeks. As we mentioned at the start of the broadcast, Eagles have gotten healthier as of late. Norris feeds it inside to Person. Kicks it out to Stevens. She lets it fly off the rim. Nice rebound by Imani Rothschild. She's wanting to run. How about Daly? Drive. Oh, nice jelly. Underneath. Can't get it to go. Doesn't get the call. Kelly Norris with the rebound. Daly tries to steal it back. And again, Zach, the tenacity on the defensive side of things affecting a little bit of the rhythm despite the run that LSU-Alexandria has had lately.
Yeah, and as this quarter kind of wanes down, you definitely see that defense intensify for the Lady Eagles, looking to make the most of these last few possessions of this quarter.
Person from 3, rims out. Had a good look, foul on the rebound. Foul on 24. That's Blair Smith.
General's bench not too happy about that one.
20 seconds to go. Eagles can settle for the last shot of the quarter. Just 4 fouls total between the two teams called thus far. Rothschild. George is checked back in. Rothschild, an open shot off the back heel. And that will end the first quarter with the Eagles in front by 7, but the Generals kind of finding some friction here in the latter part of the first. You're watching Eagles basketball on Texarkana Game Day.
Tired of banking fees and complicated accounts? With State Bank's My Free Checking account, enjoy no minimum balance and 0 monthly fees. Get a free gift just for opening your checking account, because we believe banking should be rewarding. Great for personal accounts and businesses too.
Welcome back, everybody. Getting ready to start second quarter action here at the Patterson Center on campus of Texas A&M-Texarkana. Again, want to thank our game sponsor for this game, Red River Credit Union, sports the credit union way. We appreciate them for their sponsorship here in this one as we begin second quarter action here between the Eagles and the Generals.
Good to be back, folks. Start of the second quarter, a back and forth one it turned into after the Eagles got off to a strong start, 19-12 lead. Daly still looking for her first basket of the ball game. She's got 6 games in a row of 14 or more points. How about George from 3 again? Too far to the right. Rebound by Justice Young. Young has been a problem on this side of the court for the Eagles. Zatrine trying to box her out. Nice screen, sets up Reese Stevens, who drills it from straight on.
First time that we've really seen the Generals stretch the perimeter so far. You know, we saw a couple of shots in that first quarter, but first time we've been able to see them drain one, kind of mixing things up after dumbing it down so long in the paint in that first quarter.
Neither team really known for the deep three. How about Pettit? She launches one up. Nice rebound in the paint by Daly, and she's going to go to the free throw stripe. Cheyenne Daly coming off of a great game at the free throw line. She had 15 points last Thursday against Texas College, 11 of 13 from the free throw line. And the 75% free throw shooter is good on the first one. She was just 2 of 5 from the field, but got to the line and gave the Eagles an extra spark last Thursday. She goes 2 for 2 from the stripe. Her first 2 points of the ball game.
Generals working back the other way. Let's see kind of what their offense looks like as they come down here again. Do they kick it back down low? Was Zatrine back in for the inside defense, or do they work with another perimeter shot?
One-on-one inside. Nice rotation on the backside by George, and it's going to result in an and one for Justice Young, who now has 8 points in the ball game.
Really good job by Young. Zatrine kind of worked trying to go to the outside perimeter to prevent it from kicking down low. Young just too strong, able to fend off the defense. Chance at a three-point play here.
Young will back rim it, and the Eagles secure it 21-17. 8.5 to go in the second. They're not matching up Young on Zatrine in this zone defense. And now they go to the other side. Daly feeds it. Beyonce George from 13. It's true.
Another pretty mid-range jumper there by the Eagles. Worked really well so far for them. Really good shot there to extend that lead.
Justice Young, power dribble. Too strong off the backboard. Rebound by Rothschild.
Good job by Zatrine to kind of establish dominance down there in the paint to where she had to get a shot off a little bit earlier than she was wanting.
Got trapped in the corner, ran out of real estate, stolen by Kelly Norris. But now she's running out of time. Great defense by Rothschild. Sydney Person, 13 points per game, their leading scorer on the season. Doesn't get much touches on that possession. Shot by Reese Stevens is off. And we'll get a couple of subs. Eliana Brown for the Eagles, along with Treasure May. Eliana Brown leads the Eagles in points per game, but hasn't played since December 18th. That's a big get back for the Eagles. Didn't catch who they called the foul on, but nevertheless. Norris. Great defense on this possession by the Eagles. Flip it to the corner. Person. How about the defense by George? Running out of time and Blair Smith will go up and in for 2.
So they really traded size for size. They were Justice Young and Michaela Price in there for her now. Blair Smith in for her. And so really good job there, kind of trading size for size and taking advantage of it both ways with both of those players.
Eliana Brown gives the Eagles more length, and she's going to draw a foul on her first shot attempt since last month. Great to have her back in the lineup for the Eagles, especially what she can do on the offensive side of things.
Down on the court a little long. Had some help up with her teammates as she'll reset for the free throw here.
Demetria Smith has checked back in. She's got 2 in the ball game.
Looks like she might have got hit in the eye.
Yeah, a little slow to get back up, and one eye is only needed for Eliana Brown from the free throw stripe. Eliana Brown is just 51% from the free throw line and goes 1 for 2 right there. 5-point lead for the Eagles. Tell you what, the perimeter defense has really shown up for the Eagles. It's just, can they do it on the back door of things? How about a 3 from the Blair Smith, who you would expect coming in for Justice Young to work down low, where the Eagles have had struggles.
Well, it was that initial drive that kind of forced Smith outside. And, I mean, if you can get that stretch big to take those shots, you'd like that all day if you're the Eagles.
Demetria Smith, too strong on the pull-up jumper. Brown, how about a nice spin move from Eliana and a travel. Well, points in the paint were a big story in the first game between these two. 46 for A&M-Texarkana back on December 13th. 38 for LSU-Alexandria. So despite the size advantage for the Generals, the Eagles were able to match up with that in the first round. Caitlin Blake checked in for the Generals to the corner. Drive, Smith, heavy contact, no foul, and a tie-up for the ball on the floor.
Yep, jump ball called. It will be in favor of the Eagles. I think either way they were expecting a jump ball or a travel call out of that. So either way, it was going to go the Eagles' way.
Justice Young also back in the ball game for the Generals. She's got 8.
They have both Young and Smith in there now, so double size that can really kind of work down low as a dual threat in that way.
Beyonce George says, I like it out here instead of the paint. She's got 3 3-pointers on the night.
And that can be where the problem is of having both Young and Smith is that perimeter defense. Can they stretch out wide and cover those girls on the outside perimeter? As we see Beyonce George kind of take advantage of it in that last shot.
That's right. And why drive into the trees when you can just settle outside and have the hot streak that George has had? This is not normal for her to be shooting from out there. But, I mean, shooters shoot, man.
Absolutely.
She's got the green light right now. She's got 11. Average is 11. 5 minutes to go in the second. Daly checking up Reese Stevens. Oh, nice slip screen underneath, and that's going to draw a foul for Justice Young, who is having her way in the paint tonight.
Looks like we'll get a timeout here for the under 5 call, so we'll take a quick break with them, and we'll be right back. You're watching Texarkana Game Day.
My name is Cedric Harris. I'm here with Swing Lab Baseball Academy on behalf of Randall Glass. We're excited to add to the fabric of this strong baseball community. We're proud to have used Lone Star Heating and Air as our HVAC provider. Lone Star aligns well with our core values of it being a locally owned family business. We know that we're in good hands with Lone Star due to their reliability and expertise, the quality of equipment, and the ease of communication in case any breakdowns happen. We know that we'll be able to get things taken care of.
So today we're here at Swing Lab. We just want to let everyone know that we do commercial projects and we'd be glad to help you out. We do offer preventative maintenance programs as well. We've invested in a nice mobile trailer. We can do your rooftop units, your ground units, whatever you may need. So in the future, if you need anything, please give us a call at Lone Star Heating and Air. We would be glad to take care of all your heating and cooling needs.
Welcome back, everybody, here at the Patterson Center on the campus of Texas A&M University, Texarkana. Once again, I want to thank our game sponsor, Red River Credit Union, Sports the Credit Union Way. Thank you for their support of Texarkana Gameday and A&M-Texarkana Athletics.
Welcome back here, John Wiggins and Zach Doty on the call for the A&M Eagles women's basketball game. We do have a doubleheader tonight. Later on, Chuck Zach will join the broadcast here on Texarkana Game Day to have the men's game. And the men, I tell you what, they've been playing some really good basketball as of late.
Absolutely, John. They're on a 3-game win streak of their own, 7-2 at home. And so looking to continue that record.
Crowd already filling in. And later, that's only going to get more. Justice Young back at the line. She's got 8 right now and falls to 0-2 from the stripe tonight. Can't stop her on the field goals, but she hasn't capitalized at the free throw line. And Young will have a 1-for-2 visit, 27-20. Generals have cut it to a single-digit ball game. Early on, the Eagles had all the momentum. And here's George, who has the hot hand. Screens for Smith. How about another spot up for George? She's feeling it. Looked good, doesn't go. Caitlin Blake. Here on the weak side, 3 of them on the other side. Boy, there's a lot of white jerseys around Justice Young, and they handle her on that possession.
Really good swarming defense, forces that turnover. Really good opportunity to extend this lead right now if you're the Eagles.
Brown has the defender jumping, pull-up jumper from mid-range, and she gets back to the stripe. Foul on Addison Walker. Tell you what, Zach, if you told Coach Deacon Jones that they would be 4 of 6 right now, midway through the second from downtown, I think the Eagles would take that every single time, considering that's not typically their game, but offense has been humming. The defense is looking good. And it gets really quiet here in the nest with Eliana Brown at the stripe.
And I think part of that, like I mentioned, you know, kind of in our second rotation of conference play now, you kind of see how they played schematically on defense with you that first time. If they're going to give you that opportunity, you kind of practice more reps from beyond the arc. And it allows you those opportunities to drain threes here in this game, and we're seeing that with Briance George.
Again, this game was decided by in the paint last time. It was a high-scoring game for these two. Well beyond each team's average. A foul on the drive. So we have 4 fouls for the Eagles in this quarter and 3 for the Generals. Caitlin Blake will inbound it to Reese Stevens. High post. Sydney Person in the middle. She needs help at the logo. Person driving. Treasure May all over her. 9 on the shot clock. Not able to get it inside on this possession. 3. Person's going to have to let one up. And did she get it off? No.
I don't believe she did, but the shot wouldn't go anyway. Really good defensive possession there by the Eagles.
Sydney Person, number 12, who just let off that shot. She's their leading scorer per game for the Generals, and the only one that averages in double digits at 13 per. And she's held to just one field goal thus far.
It almost feels hard to believe with how dominant Justice Young is down low.
That's right. Rothschild, she'll check up a three. It looks good. It is. Silky smooth for Imani Rothschild.
And again, those Eagles expanding beyond the arc and is paying off dividends for them. 12-point lead now with 3 minutes to go here in this first half.
That's Imani's second three-pointer. Here's two Louisiana State Championship MVPs going at it. Kelly Norris and Imani Rothschild. They now switch. Caitlin Blake. And again, late in the shot clock before they can get a good look. Nice help defense, and they're going to call a foul. But again, no open looks early in possessions for the Generals.
Yeah, I think that was a really smart play there by Reese Stevens, the sophomore guard for the Generals, as she went in to the defender and realized she could put up a shot, and now the Generals take a trip to the line as they're in the double bonus.
So after that three earlier by Rothschild, she now has 6 on the ball game. Reese Stevens off the mark on the first free throw. She is going to be off on the second one, but a rebound by Cortland Rideau. Number 33 was checked in the ball game. She can't dribble. Sweeney is checked in for the Eagles. Wild pass not secured, and the Eagles are causing disruption.
The last few defensive possessions for the Eagles have been really, really good so far. Forcing tough shots, forcing late shot clock shots. Just overall, really good play.
And again, LSU Generals, Alexandria, not hitting on their free throw opportunities. Here's Eliana Brown, who can't get the straight on to go. Brown looks good after being out for a whole month. Causes the wild pass, stolen by Rothschild. In the corner, Pettit. Can't get it to go. Treasurer May, tough rebound underneath. She'll drive, doesn't get the roll, but gets a free throw line visit.
Almost a really good opportunity there, a chance to send the Nest into a frenzy with that, if she was able to get that one to fall. But really tough job and a really good job here by the Eagles, really coming out of that timeout, and they've just been dominant so far.
Treasurer May, 68% free throw shooter. She does all the dirty work in the lane for this offense. You see her a lot of times coach up some of the other teammates on the ball club. Her second year here at Texas A&M-Texarkana. She's been a very important piece in Deacon Jones's first year. And she goes true on her free throws for her first points in the ball game. On-ball pressure back on. Maya Petit. And just a little nudge on the shoulder for her first foul.
And a really tough call that's going to end up sending the Generals to the line. They're already in the bonus.
Not being biased here, but I don't think that was necessarily a lot there to call, but nevertheless, more free throws for the Generals.
Yeah, and you can see Imani asking the referee for some clarification there on kind of what he saw, but Generals, they've taken these trips to the line, but so far unable to capitalize on them.
14-point lead for the Eagles. They have gotten out to a bigger start, faster start. Unlike last week where they kind of limped into halftime and then stole the game away from Texas College in the second half. They've had 2 wins that were handled nicely on the scoreboard, and tonight they came out starting strong, nursing a 14-point lead. Drive by Sweeney, won't go. Heavy contact, didn't get it called. Eagles nicely get back on defense. 1.5 minutes to go till half. Caitlin Blake gets back to the line. Actually, it's an offensive foul.
Good job there setting themselves up inside and able to get that charge call going the other way.
Treasure May, nice take on the foul underneath. And we haven't seen Justice Young impact here in the second quarter as much as she did at the beginning of this one. She's back in after taking a breather.
She'll check in for Cortland Rideau.
Kelly Norris has also checked back in. Beyonce George for the Eagles back in the ball game. Leads the game in points with 11. Treasure May. Nice opening outside for Rothschild. She gets it to go. Imani Rothschild for her third downtown bucket.
Just been beautiful beyond the perimeter. Like you said many times that, it's not what they're known for, but they've just done an incredible job inside. And we see a foul there on Unique McBride again. Mismatch down low there with Justice Young.
I mean, this is kind of an unconscious shooting performance from the Eagles that we're just not used to. And that's going to make everything easier. And Deacon Jones coaching up Unique McBride over there. Justice Young back at the free throw line. And again, struggles continue and linger for the Generals.
I believe that's 4 or 5 consecutive free throws that have been missed. On the season, they're a almost 64% free throw shooting team. Really been struggling from the stripe tonight.
She gets her second free throw to go. That's her second made one, of the night. She is up to 10 points. Eagles in total control in this one, but would like to pour a little bit more on before half. Way over the head of Cheyenne Daly. And against a zone defense, long passes don't always answer the task. Kind of just want to play it more patiently than that. However, Daly was in good position if she was able to corral it. And now about a 4-second difference on the shot clock. LSU with the ball. Kelly Norris. Out to Walker. Person being checked all over the place by Rothschild. Great rotation by Unique McBride.
Yeah, we saw Coach Deacon Jones really coaching her up in between that last foul that was called on her. Ends up paying dividends there. She had a really good rotation.
Yeah, and you know who they're feeding right now, and that's Justice Young. And that's just great anticipation by McBride to work that way. How about a pick and an interception? Can she go for the last bucket of the half? Fouled. And a free throw trip for Cheyenne Daly.
And that's all you can ask for there if you're the Eagles, an opportunity to score more points before you go into the half. Really good job with that steal and a great opportunity to create that foul and take a trip to the line now.
Her second trip of the night. She's been a B12 shot for the Eagles this month and this year. She's been on a tear scoring-wise in double digits for 6 games in a row. And remains true from the free throw line.
4 seconds on the clock. We'll see what the Generals can work up here.
Pressure back on Norris. 2 seconds, lets it fly a little early. And it won't go. 38-21 Eagles all over the Generals right now. In the first half, we'll go to halftime. Here, John Wiggins and Zach Doherty on this broadcast presented by Texarkana Game Day.
Hi, I'm Jay Strickland, second generation master electrician. This is our team here at Livewire Electrical Services. Your safety is our top priority. That's why with every service call, we do a visual safety inspection for our customers, because small things can turn into big problems if left unchecked. We also offer a safety and savings membership plan, which gives you priority booking service, discounts, and an annual safety inspection of your home to make sure your home is protected year-round. We're proud to have been voted Best Electrician in Texarkana for the last 3 years by the Reader's Vault magazine. We have a 4.9 Google rating with over 270 5-star reviews because Texarkana trusts us to get the job done right. So give us a call today and experience the difference because your home safety starts with us.
Craving fajitas but short on time? That's not a problem. Just give us a call and place your order, and we will have them ready for you with no lines or waiting. With same ingredients and the same freshness every day. If life moves fast, so do we. No time to waste. Satisfy your cravings today.
For over 20 years, Hoover Stone & Stucco has been building and restoring exteriors that last. And now that same expert knowledge powers Hoover Soft Wash. We understand how stone, stucco, brick, and siding are built, so we know exactly how to clean them the right way. No high-pressure damage, just safe, professional soft washing that protects your home or business. Trust the team that knows exteriors inside and out. Hoover Stone & Stucco, Hoover Soft Wash. Experience built in. For over 20 years, Hoover Stone & Stucco.
Texarkana, it's game day and Lost Pizza is ready to feed the fans. From thick crust to thin, we make our dough fresh every single day and top it with all the flavors your crew loves. We are locally owned, locally operated, and proud to support our community in everything we do, from school spirit nights to hometown fundraisers. Dine in, take out, or order online, we're always ready for kickoff. Lost Pizza Company, Texarkana. Fueling game day the local way.
Diamond Bank walks with its customers through every step of life, side by side. From the first checking account in high school to the first home or business loan, Diamond Bank is committed to helping you with all of your financial needs. Diamond Bank's growth is the result of the growth of our customers, and we want to help you feel that same growth. We are proud to have the ability to give back to our local school districts, community organizations, veterans, customers, and more in a multitude of ways. Come discover the Diamond Bank difference with local people making local decisions for our local community. Stop by our current location in Texarkana at 5714 Richmond Road or visit us online at www.diamond.bank to see our products and services. Member FDIC and Equal Housing Lender.
My name is Doug Willett. I own M&M Tire and Auto Center. We've been here for over 40 years. We're just a mom and pop place. We service any type of vehicle that you can think of. We do front end alignments. We've got the best front end alignment machine guys here, and we also do AC work for the new Freon, which is the 1234 FY. We do that too. Plus tires. Now that's the major thing. Cooper Tire employees, we're really special with them. We give you 15% off, plus also you get your Goodyear employee refunds back on your tires, which is great for you. Extra value is what you get when you buy from Doug Willett. Don't worry, my guys will take care of you too.
Meet Tony Langford Roofing, your trusted name in roofing solutions. Decades of experience and top-notch service. Passionate about your home safety, we treat every roof like our own. From repairs to full installations, we've got your home covered. Upgrade your roof with our variety of styles and materials. For roofs that last long, choose Tony Langford Roofing. We've got you covered.
At Texarkana Emergency Center and Hospital, we provide fast and compassionate emergency care for all ages. From cardiology to pediatric to outpatient imaging, our board-certified physicians are dedicated to exceptional care when you need it most. Our on-site laboratory offers full diagnostic testing, including MRIs, X-rays, CT scans, and ultrasounds, allowing for comprehensive care in one location. Conveniently located off Calhoun Creek Road, open 24/7, we're ready to help you feel better faster. Visit TexarkanaEmergencyCenter.com today.
Start your day with seamless transactions. Add your State Bank card to your device's digital wallet and enjoy the convenience of tap-and-go payments. Easy, secure, and thankfully at your fingertips. Simplify your day with State Bank's digital wallet. Your family, your bank, State Bank.
Hey, I'm Josh Surrett, project manager with 2B Builders. We're a local GC here in Texarkana. We have Lone Star out here doing our heating and AC. They do a good job for us. We really appreciate the customer service that they provide. I know that at Lone Star Heating and Air, I can always call Matt or Dave, their head commercial HVAC guy, and they will always pick up the phone when I need them. And that's a big thing when we're working out here on these commercial projects. Usually when we're in a bind, we need something and we need it pretty quickly, and we can rely on Lone Star for that.
And welcome back to Texas A&M-Texarkana basketball with the Act 1 of our doubleheader with the women's Eagles, Lady Eagles, excuse me, 38-21 over LSU-Alexandria at half. I'm John Wiggins with Zach Doty here with you as we are really relishing this. It's a good game. It's an impact, a lot of fun things going on. And for that first half, Eagles jumped out early. LSU kind of weathered the storm a little bit, Alexandria that is. And then they started going to their prominent piece in the paint where they obviously have the advantage in terms of size, and Justice Young was proven to be a problem. But as we mentioned right before half, Zach, the rotations on defense on the last few possessions for the Eagles have kind of weathered that storm, and hopefully Deacon Jones, for his sake, they can continue to do some of that in the second half, because right now it just feels like that's kind of the only game that's working for Alexandria.
Yeah, I think what stood out to me so far is the way that both teams have adapted throughout the game. You know, we saw super early how well that the Eagles are playing on offense, and then that press defense coming out of that timeout, Alexandria really had a good answer of the way that they worked down the court and were able to feed it into Justice Young. And that was kind of the tail of the later half of that first quarter, a little bit of the beginning of the second quarter as well. And then we get to that timeout in the second quarter, and that's where things really changed for the Eagles. And, you know, it seemed like they got a lot more of that momentum and rhythm going, especially on offense. And they were able to make that big impact on defense without playing that full court pressure that they were doing in that first quarter. But them being able to keep that ball on the perimeter and unable to work it down low into Justice Young or to Blair Smith or to Cortland Rideau has been very beneficial. You know, a shot clock violation, a shot being put up there late in the shot clock to where it was really tough for them. You know, just very consistent so far. From the Eagles, and the way that both teams have been able to adapt so far has been interesting. I'll be excited to see how Alexandria adapts, especially with their perimeter defense, seeing as the Eagles have really stepped up their three-point game than what they're typically used to.
That's right, and you mentioned that timeout where things kind of got back into the momentum of A&M. Before that, and really when you look at the depth of Texas A&M Texarkana, it's more less of a fall off, if you will, from the starters. That the Eagles run deep in their lineup. And when you look at the minute disparity for LSU Alexandria, Justice Young, 14 minutes, that's most of the game. But when she was out, they really had no answers on offense, even when they put Blair Smith in there, who's the same style of player, who had just 7 minutes. But it seems like they're a one-trick pony offensively. And right now for the Eagles, their depth is definitely an advantage for them.
Yeah, absolutely. And whenever you're able to work it around to multiple people like the Eagles have, I think that adds so much more to your offense. Whenever they're able to kind of work around the perimeter with Briance George and Amani Rothschild, Unique McBride has made some big shots. Just having that rotation where you can kind of count on anybody that's on the floor at any given moment comes up huge if you're the Lady Eagles. Whereas with Alexandria, you kind of know where it's going every time with Justice Young. And really, whenever it's working on the perimeter, it's like, oh, well, Reese Stevens is going to take this shot, So if you're able to kind of force it only into those two people's hands, and you can kind of play defense on that each time, and once you start doubling Justice Young down low, if you're able to do that, that can really be beneficial, and the Eagles could really blow this one open.
Well, what's really interesting about that is in this first matchup, LSU-Alexandria, their entire starting lineup were in double-digit scoring. And tonight, just Justice Young with 10, and all of the others in single digits with no one eclipsing more than 4 points. So they have to get some production from elsewhere if they're going to stand a chance in this ball game. They don't shoot a lot of threes. They don't shoot it at a high clip. And that outside game that has now worked in favor of the Eagles, changing the script, if you will, on their offensive side of things, that's kind of what LSU-Alexandria has to mirror here in the second half to free up some things down low. And they just showed the guard, we mentioned it a few times, the guard defense has come out and been absolutely pressurized, if you will, for the Eagles. They've done a great job. But like I said, double digits for just one player for Alexandria, as opposed to the first game of these two, where everyone else, or 5 of them, in double digits. Very different ball game.
Absolutely, and mentioned it a couple times, but just the way that you're able to kind of switch things up, in that second rotation in conference play, you see a team a first time, you're able to switch things around and play it a little bit differently. Makes a huge impact, honestly.
And so the team's coming out for halftime. LSU-Alexandria, I tell you what, when I watched them, I was thinking purple. And they come out with the alternates today. As for the Eagles, it's been all A&M-Texarkana. We're just 2 minutes out from the second half start. 2 Eagles notable in the scoring margin. 11 for Briance George, that matches her average. And 9 for Rothschild, all from downtown. That's pretty new for her in terms of all of her points coming from downtown.
Both Louisiana products.
Both Louisiana products, and I'm glad you mentioned that. So we mentioned 12 players for LSU-Alexandria from the Bayou. 4 players, and Deacon Jones, who comes from Louisiana Lafayette, for the Eagles. Rothschild was the number 5 player in the Louisiana rankings out of high school, was a 3A state championship MVP when she was in high school, went on to Louisiana Lafayette when Coach Jones was on the staff, and has now met up back with him after a year at Dillard College, or Dillard University, last year. She's a Louisiana product, and as well as Demetria Smith, who we mentioned a few times, from Baker High School in Baton Rouge, and Blair Smith for LSU-Alexandria from Episcopal High School. Those 2 schools are district foes down in Baton Rouge. So a lot of
familiar faces.
That's right. Briance George, if I may continue on this. Briance George, Princess Goff, who we haven't seen on the floor yet for Alexandria, and Michaela Price, who typically gets minutes for the Generals. Haven't seen her much yet. All teammates last year at Louisiana Christian. So how about that?
Absolutely. Before we get started in this third quarter, once again, want to thank our game sponsor, Red River Credit Union, sports the credit union way. Thank you to Red River Credit Union for their generosity and their support of not only Texarkana Game Day, but Texas A&M University, Texarkana, and their athletics program.
Right on. And as we go for the second half, can the Generals weather the storm, or can the Eagles do what they've done the last 2 games, and that is put the hammer down in the second half? LSU-Alexandria will begin with possession. Good crowd on hand in the Patterson Student Center. Norris being checked by Rothschild. That was nice on-ball defense, and here they go collapsing on Young underneath. Pass broken away, and it's going to be out on Norris. So a nice defensive start for the Eagles. Or are they going to keep it this way? He pointed the other way.
Maybe a little confusion coming out of the half. Oh, looks like they were called a foul.
A reach in on Rothschild. That'd be just her second of the ball game. Not exactly demonstrative from the referees. Nice breakup. There's a demonstrative defensive play from Treasure May. Get it out of the corner quickly. Reese Stevens inside. Justice Young had the space, but the shot heavily contested, and the Eagles control the first possession. Treasure May driving. Not a lot of movement elsewhere, but here is some movement from Zatrine underneath.
Beautiful job there by Nayla Zatrine.
Nicely done. Nice patience from Treasure May early in that play.
Nayla's got her old assistant coach, Coach Cody Powell, in the building.
Right on, and there's a three. Something that we mentioned at half. LSU Alexandria wasn't able to come away with shots on the perimeter to kind of loosen up the defense inside on Justice Young. They get their first one to go in the second half.
Really good job there by Norris. Getting her name kind of called out for the first time tonight.
How about Zatrine from three? Off the mark. She looked comfortable in that stroke.
She absolutely is. Seeing her in high school, you know, and with Coach Mo and their system, they were not afraid to shoot. They shot as many times as they could in that gym in Falcon. Zatrine was definitely a part of that system, and so she's not afraid to stretch the floor.
Addison Walker gets lost from three, and she puts it in, dots the eye, and now 2 threes in a row for the Generals. It's a 13-point ball game.
And we kind of talked about adapting. Really good job so far by the Generals of adapting so far in their offense, working outside on the perimeter as much, and not necessarily relying on Justice Young all that much on their offense.
George, nice gather and nice floater, but leaves it short. Rebound by Young, who averages about 8 boards a game. This would be a big possession here if they are able to come away with points. They don't. Nice rebound secured. They got numbers down the court. Daly bounce pass to Zatrine. Ran perfectly on a fast break.
Very impressive, very good court awareness to realize that Zatrine was right there to dump it down to.
Rothschild right behind Young. Young gets a shot off. You can tell early in that possession, Imani was down there low, double teaming with Zatrine on Young. Forces a tough shot. Nice rifled pass inside the defense and can't go by Zatrine. And as far as Zatrine's impact after halftime. Slow to get up. And she walks it off. It will remain Eagles ball. Rothschild to inbounds it. 7-minute mark here in the third. Pull-up jumper from the 6-foot Unique McBride. Leaves it short. That ball is going to stay with the Eagles. The Generals have stayed in the zone all night. High arcing shot for George. Her 4th triple of the ball game.
Just been unstoppable. That bench is loving it.
Briance George with 14 tonight. Young. McBride forces a fumble. Daly might have had a slim chance at Treasure May cutting to the lane. Instead, how about a spot up three from Rothschild? Bang it. Imani Rothschild, her fourth. Her and Briance going at the three-point line tonight.
We'll see a timeout for the Lady Generals as they try to collect themselves. We'll take a quick break with them, and we'll be right back. You're watching Texas A&M-Texarkana basketball on Texarkana Game Day.
Sports injuries can happen anytime, on the field, on the court, and even in your backyard. At Texarkana Emergency Center and Hospital, we treat sprains, fractures, concussions, and more with fast, compassionate care close to home. We're open 24/7 with on-site imaging like x-rays, ultrasounds, CT scans, and MRI for quick, accurate diagnosis and treatment all in one place. Let us help you get back to the game faster. Visit TexarkanaEmergencyCenter.com for more information.
And welcome back to the Patterson Student Center right here in the midst of the third quarter of the Lady Eagles hosting LSU-Alexandria, the Generals. And how about the three-point shot tonight for the Eagles? Everything is working. And coming out of halftime, the Generals hit 2 threes of their own. You thought maybe this momentum would be in their favor, but the Eagles have struck back with their answers from beyond the arc. And this is a big moment in this game if LSU-Alexandria wants to have a chance later in the fourth. Princess Goff has checked in for Alexandria. Going into their bench are the Generals. Person. Great rotation defensively. Making everything difficult. Goff launches one from three. Rebound for Rothschild. Daly, a wide open shot. Left wing won't go. Rebound by Treasure May. George flings a long pass to Daly in the corner. Zips one over to Rothschild. Hot hand. Doesn't get it to go. And now the ball, Eagles saying it went out on Princess Goff. And it did. It's going to stay Eagles ball.
We heard the shot clock buzzer go off, but that ball obviously hit the rim, so it should have reset, but at the same time, it wasn't in possession yet to be able to. But ball went out of bounds. We'll stay with the Eagles.
Daly. Just 3 points on the night. Gives it up to Rothschild. Brown off the pick and roll. Pops it from three. Or was the foot on the line? It was. It's going to remain a 2 for Eliana Brown. Her first field goal of the night on her way back from a month-long absence. Inside pass. Blair Smith puts it off the glass.
Really pretty shot there. Kind of fading away. Gets it to go off the top of the glass and gets it to fall in.
For Alexandria, you really need stops. And the Eagles have had every right answer on this side of the court. Brown spots one up off the back heel. Treasure May, uncontested drive to the basket was good.
I was more impressed with the rebound than I was the shot itself. Her coming in there, forcing herself inside to grab that rebound, and then getting that second chance opportunity was huge there for the Eagles.
Treasure May does a lot of the dirty work for Texarkana. No paint work here this half thus far. And that is a turnover for the Generals. See how long they will go without having Justice Young in the ball game. Nevertheless, we'll take a short break here on Texarkana Game Day. Eagles up by a lot.
Tired of banking fees and complicated accounts? With State Bank's My Free Checking account, enjoy no minimum balance and 0 monthly fees. Get a free gift just for opening your checking account, because we believe banking should be rewarding. Great for personal accounts and businesses too.
Welcome back, everybody. Everything is all Eagles right now. We want to give a quick shout out to our game sponsor, Red River Credit Union, sports the credit union way. Thank you to Red River for their support of Texas A&M, Texarkana, and Texarkana Game Day.
A&M-Texarkana 52-29 here in the third quarter. John Wiggins alongside Zach Doty here in the Patterson Student Center on a warmer Thursday than we probably looked at earlier in the week after snow and ice. Canceled the Eagles' Saturday game last weekend. So a full week of rest, and they're coming out swinging tonight.
We've mentioned a lot of times that these three-point shots are kind of uncharacteristic for the Eagles. But if this is what's good, how they're going to be uncharacteristic, this is exactly how you draw it up if you're Coach Jones.
Absolutely. Mention the paint points for each team in the first matchup. And tonight it's been the opposite. Imani Rothschild nearly a steal. Imani had 8 steals. Can you believe that, against Texas College last week? And LSU going heavy in the bag here in the second half of their bench, getting a lot of minutes spread around. Inside pass, isolation inside, broken up by Unique McBride, but a foul. Trying to feed it to Blair Smith.
That was almost like a pass interference call that you'll see in football on an underthrown ball. That one just kind of underthrown, didn't quite allow the opportunity for Blair Smith to come back to the ball.
That's right, and they did not. Oh, excuse me. It was a foul. I'm thinking free throws here, folks. I'm ahead of myself. Just one foul for the Eagles in this third quarter. Demetria Smith forcing her baseline. Pass inside to Norris. Gather and draws the foul by Eliana Brown.
And they'll give her the shots on that one, I believe.
And they're going to charge it to Terwin Sweeney, actually. Kelly Norris is true on the first one. Just a 54% free throw shooter. And she has a 2-for-2 visit there. 21-point lead for the Eagles. Brown surveying. Somebody trying to pop free underneath. Terwin Sweeney from mid-range won't go. McBride hits the deck.
Shoe comes loose in the process as well.
So the Eagles now give the first minutes to Camille Logan, who played a lot last Thursday against Texas College. And Terwin Sweeney, who also played a lot, had her season high of 11 points. Eliana Brown, though, who's expected to be a starter, still in this game, her first game back. Shot won't go for Sweeney. Foul underneath. Charge to Camille Logan on the rebound. When you need points like Alexandria does, unique lineup unexpectedly, but I spoke too soon. A 3 goes for Kelly Norris.
Well, and that's really how Alexandria came out to begin with in this quarter. They were lighting up for 3. Norris was a part of that. And then they just kind of got quiet there in between those first couple minutes to now. And so just look to see if they can find their momentum again.
Ball out of bounds on the Eagles. Maya Petit will check in for the Eagles. She's also trying to get her legs back under her after being out. So the Eagles, I tell you what, they can. We mentioned it at halftime. They can go deep in their bench without much fall off. Norris, spin move, elbow, shot won't go. Rebound by McBride, a tough one at that. Pettit, reach-in foul, easy call near the sideline.
Felt almost like a frustration foul there by Kelly Norris. Unable to get one go on the other side of the ball.
Kelly Norris, just 3 points on the night.
So her check out for Lila Lewis.
As part of that frustration, only 3 points, 13 points per game, 9 points per game for her. Sweeney, how about a pull-up jumper? Won't go, too strong. Had a good look though. Blake rifles a pass inside. Rideau gets it stripped away by Sweeney. They've got numbers, darts a pass down the field. It is good for two, Eliana Brown. Alexandria trying to answer. Price drew the contact. She went in with her left shoulder hard into Eliana Brown, who was shaken up earlier when she got poked in the eye or something. Inside pass to Rideau, no call. Forces the contact and a shot. 54-36, a minute to go in the third.
We'll see a full five come to the scorer's table, looking for the next substitution.
Brown tries to get to her mid-range spot on that one, couldn't corral the ball. Pettit, inside pass broken up. It's gonna stay Eagles ball with 6 on the shot clock. 53 seconds to go in the third, and nursing a big lead, 18 points that is. Starters coming back in to salt this one away. Treasurer May needs to get a shot off. 3 seconds, 2. Monty Rothschild just flings it. All positive vibes here in the Patterson Student Center. Eagles looking for a sweep tonight with a doubleheader. Cheyenne Daly back in the ball game. Lila Lewis, who has just checked in, forces the contact. Tell you what, Zatrine looked like she had position, but she's going to get called for the blocking.
It'll be the 5th foul on the Eagles, so the Generals will take a trip to the line. It'll be Lila Lewis going to the charity stripe.
Lewis, just a freshman, only played sparingly this year. Meanwhile, Eliana Brown is headed to the locker room for the Eagles. As the student section filling in, with Lewis capitalizing on that second free throw as well. Student section filling in for the men's game later.
We will have that game shortly after the women's game concludes. Right here on Texarkana Game Day as well.
Pull up from the elbow, Demetria Smith. Too strong. And out of bounds on the sideline. Tell you what, the air in this building, kind of in this game really, the intensity has kind of dropped off. But in favor of the Eagles, just when we thought the Generals would go on a run with a few made threes, how about this drive? And that falls for Cameron Sutton. Last shot, Rothschild for 3 from the logo. Too strong. 54-40. All Eagles. You're listening to Texas A&M-Texarkana basketball right here on Texarkana Game Day. We'll take a short break.
Hi, I'm Jay Strickland, second generation master electrician. This is our team here at LiveWire Electrical Services. Your safety is our top priority. That's why with every service call, we do a visual safety inspection for our customers, because small things can turn into big problems if left unchecked. We also offer a safety and savings membership plan, which gives you priority booking service, discounts, and an annual safety inspection of your home to make sure your home's protected year-round. We're proud to have been voted Best Electrician in Texarkana for the last 3 years by the Reader's Vault magazine. We have a 4.9 Google rating with over 270 5-star reviews because Texarkana trusts us to get the job done right. So give us a call today and experience the difference, because your home safety starts with us.
And welcome back to the Patterson Student Center on the campus of Texas A&M Texarkana for this presentation of Texarkana Game Day with the Lady Eagles hosting the LSU-Alexandria Generals up big. I'm John Wiggins. Next to Zach Doty on the call for tonight. Chuck Zach will join in for the men's game later on with 10 minutes remaining in this one. And Zach, I got to tell you, one of the stats that really stands out tonight, 80% shooting free throws for the Eagles. That would just be the fourth time this season that they would eclipse 70%.
Wow.
So we've seen the three-point ball go in a way that it usually doesn't. And how about the free throws alongside of that? Everything going right for the Eagles.
Absolutely. That was kind of something that I was looking at earlier today in preparation was shooting numbers. And I was typically, whenever you're looking at shooters, you see 50, 40, 90, and like, wow, that's a really good score right there. You look at a lot of free throw percentages now, it's not even close to 90. And so for the Eagles to have almost an 80% free throw percentage tonight is incredible. And their percentage beyond the arc as well, it has to be incredible as well.
And you match that with the defense that's been disruptive, almost pulled away with a fast break there. Pull up from Leela Lewis, swatted away, and the Eagles have numbers. Daly. Oh, and it's left it too short and too strong off the glass. Ball will stay with the Eagles.
See a full 5. Check in and out for the Generals. Justice Young back on the court.
Justice Young, 14 minutes and really 10 points, the only source of offense consistently tonight. Just 4 minutes in the third quarter played for her. And that's another missing piece that's kind of attributed to this lead for the Eagles.
Felt very strange.
So they initially said it was going to remain Eagles ball, I believe.
Going the other way now.
Person mirrored by Daly. Has a few inches on Daly. Feeds it underneath. Zatrine, nice defense. And they're going to call her with the body foul on Zatrine.
Coach Jones not happy about that one. I think the foul ends up coming off of, Nayla kind of had her knee more up in the body of Young than her body itself, trying to prevent Young to get in down low.
Otherwise, good positioning from Nayla. Wide open Sydney Person at the free throw line and puts it in.
The Generals definitely don't feel like they're out of it, and so the Eagles can't get too complacent with this one and let it get out of hand.
I tell you what, the deficit has sneaked up on us. It feels larger than just 12. But the Generals still in this thing. Treasurer May hits the deck.
The Eagles up as many as 20, I believe, at one point in that third quarter, and just kind of slowly inching away has been the Generals, and a few possessions of offense that the Eagles haven't been able to capitalize with the bucket, and because of that, the Generals are able to slowly climb back and make their way back into this ballgame.
For the Eagles, they had their biggest lead of the night. You mentioned 23-point lead at the halfway mark in the third.
Okay.
So the Generals have made up some ground here.
Yeah.
And nevertheless, we got a ball game here in the fourth quarter. Treasure May from the free throw line. Or was it a lane violation?
Looks like that's what they're going to call, yep.
Wow.
Another brutal one.
You don't get those often.
No.
And now they're calling a little bit of everything now, as Daly gets called for a foul on the body. Guarding Reese Stevens. Didn't see much there, to be honest, but
Coach Jones still wanting a little bit of a full court pressure on there. Now mixing it into the half court after that foul.
And a whistle,
Got a timeout, yep.
For Alexandria.
We'll stay here with this timeout, you know. We're coming right out of the break. We'll stay here. Thank our game sponsor once again. Thank you to Red River Credit Union, sports the credit union way. Again, talked about all the great things that they're doing over here at Texas A&M-Texarkana and their contributions to new football stadiums, new facilities, not only athletics, but just kind of all over the place as far as the school is concerned. And so appreciate their generosity not only for the school, but here for us at Texarkana Game Day. We appreciate them a lot.
Again, the Eagles trying to keep pace in the top 3 of the Red River Athletic Conference. They are just behind LSU Shreveport, who is undefeated in conference play, as well as A&M San Antonio in second place, who we do have another matchup with, I believe, my memory serves me correctly, the second to last game of the season against the Jaguars. So seeding for the conference tournament. And if you look at the Eagles, they still have a 3-game lead over North American behind them for that 3rd spot. 8.5 to go in the 4th. Justice Young had great positioning against Unique McBride. See if they try to feed her. They have to settle for an outside shot. Excellent defensive possession from the Eagles.
Absolutely. If you're Coach Perkins there, that's not necessarily how you're wanting to come out of a timeout. Really good job by Coach Deacon Jones, really getting his girls settled in out of that one to come away with a good defensive possession.
And for Alexandria, they typically stay in the zone. They've come out to a man defense now. McBride off the back heel, rebound, and a travel on Treasure Renee. So just when you feel like the Eagles can slam the door shut, Alexandria kind of makes a push at this and slows down the momentum just a tad. Stevens, who's been quiet tonight, gives it up to Kelly Norris. Deep 3 for her. Rebound Rothschild. Daly's going to run it to the corner and to the block, I should say. Fouled. She'll have free throws for her.
And after seeing that last offensive possession, I'm curious how Alexandria is going to be wanting to play schematically on offense. Are they going to be trying to take quick shots and, not necessarily develop plays, whereas they're just trying to get quick buckets so they can try to inch closer? Or, will they look to get down low more and, utilize 2s instead of 3s to with Justice Young to be able to capitalize there, as we see the Eagles get another free throw made there by Daly. But it almost seemed like they had that mismatch with Young and Unique McBride down low that they've been really going after in that first half, but didn't go to it here with the 7.5 mark here in the 4th.
Yeah, if there was one way for Alexandria to chisel into this lead by the Eagles, it is down low. However, Unique McBride has been outstanding off the bench tonight in that rotation underneath. Walker, everything difficult for the Generals. How about a 3? Left short by Stevens. Rothschild thought about a home run pass. Daly, wide open. Eliana Brown. Can't connect. person down the court. She's going to take it coast to coast, dishes it out to Norris. Dribble, drive, floater. Won't go. Daly on the rebound. Treasure May, a rare three from her. Too strong.
And I think on the other side of the things here, if you're Deacon Jones and the Eagles here, you want to slow down the pace. You want to be wasting clock. You want to let that shot clock go down instead of kind of taking these uncharacteristic threes. This is where that uncharacteristic nature can kind of get away from you. You know, you saw so much success with it earlier in the game. You can kind of get away from yourself.
You're kind of feeling it, and you're like, hey, let's click the brakes down here a little bit. Let's just salt this one away with 6.5 to go and nursing a 15-point lead. We know our defense is held up strong the whole game. Let's just turn it back a notch on the offensive side of things.
Definitely seems what Coach Jones was saying to the girls there.
Brown, how about the creation of separation in the mid-range for Eliana? This side of the court is where the story of the game is. Contested shot. Stevens falls short. And Daly gets a hand up in her face.
Back in possession for the Eagles. Less than 6 minutes left in this one as they look to close out this one.
A&M-Texarkana 4-2 this month. Of course, still waiting on updates to their postponed game against Jarvis Christian from last Saturday. Daly's going to yank a three, leaves it short. Rothschild on the board. 16 on the shot clock. They don't have to go quickly. Rothschild driving, laying. Oh, nice. Underneath roll by Imani. She's feeling it on the offensive side of things tonight. That's her first two-pointer of the game.
See a timeout called there for the Lady Eagles. Let's take a timeout with them, and we'll be right back. You are watching A&M-Texarkana basketball here on Texarkana Gameday.
Craving fajitas but short on time? That's not a problem. Just give us a call and place your order, and we will have them ready for you with no lines or waiting. With same ingredients and the same freshness every day. If life moves fast, so do we. No time to waste. Satisfy your cravings today.
And welcome back to A&M-Texarkana basketball on Texarkana Game Day. John Wiggins here with Zach Doty as we watch the closing minutes. A little under 5.5 to go as Deacon Jones's ball club aiming for a third win in a row. Maya Petit, how about the great defense? Hip to hip. Now the Eagles are running. 3-on-2 and one, count it, for Cheyenne Daly. Cheyenne Daly, 5 points on the night. And for the Eagles, Evelyn Terraza Alcantar, who's coming off a broken hand for her first minutes of the night, has just checked in. Senior leader on this team. Just another weapon the Eagles can use towards the end of this season. And down the home stretch of February, as the Eagles are cooking everything right tonight. Inside pass. Great rotations all night by the Eagles. Pull-up jumper pushed. Leaves it short. Leila Lewis. I mean, they are just taped to every offensive player. Drawing a foul now is Michaela Price. Foul assessed to Cheyenne Daly.
I'll call it on Alcantar.
Evelyn Terraza-Alcantar, despite the broken hand, looked good in pregame warm-ups. Looked like it didn't really affect her shooting.
Once you get into gameplay, though, it becomes, it's always a thought in the back of your head. You never want to, disrupt it and injure it again going for a rebound or something. So you always become a little bit cautious. So if you watch her a little bit closely, she'll end up going for a rebound with one hand or, really kind of closing out with one hand instead. And so it'll be kind of interesting to see how she works her way back into it.
That's right. Brown, coast to coast, and one for Eliana. That'll get the juices back into flow for someone who's missed a lot of games lately. Leading scorer in points per game for the Eagles this year. And she's getting her feet wet again. Back in the lineup. Now with Eliana Brown has 9 points on the night. Can she convert the three-point play? She does. .420 to go in this one, 67-43 lead for the Eagles. Terraza-Alcantar might get called with a foul there. And that's her second. But this is the kind of game you want to get those players who have missed time back into a rhythm late in the ball game where you kind of have the game secured already. Drive by Lewis. Now the whistles are getting happy towards the end of this one.
Exactly. You said it perfectly there. This is the exact moment that you want to see Alcantar out on the court. She's getting game minutes. She's getting game experience with that hand. But, you don't have to just throw her, caution to the wind and a really key game down the line and at pivotal moments in a game. She's kind of able to work through the rest of this clock and get some good game experience and kind of understand her situation better on how she's going to deal with that hand in game action.
That's right. It's still taped up, as you see. But she's a senior leader on this team for the Eagles. Her second year here at Texarkana. Now, officials getting together. Not so certain on what there is to discuss. Nevertheless, elsewhere in Texas A&M-Texarkana athletics, the doubleheader between these two schools will continue next with the men's game starting at around 20 to 30 minutes after the conclusion of this one. I don't know what they discussed, but head coach for Alexandria.
I'm not quite sure either because they're in the bonus either way. So
right.
It was called on the floor, it appeared, and it seems like he's upset about that, but at the same time, they were in the bonus anyway, so they would have been shooting.
Right. Terraza-Alcantar took a shot to the face, and they're going to call her with a blocking foul.
So it'll go back on the other way now.
We're in the free throw shooting portion of the ball game.
And again, you saw it there where Coach Jones was probably wanting them to slow the pace down, wait to take a shot, and ended up being, quick pace. As soon as they get down the court, they're bumping to three.
Last week against Texas College, that game was very clunky, especially towards the end, and a lot of situations like this where the game is kind of decided already. Brown, she's feeling it. That's one off the rim. 3:40 to go. A&M-Texarkana, the women's team will have a home game on Tuesday against Wiley, a non-conference clash. Lewis for three, wide open look, doesn't go. Rebound by Rideau, that doesn't go. Rebound by Price, it does go. Third time's a charm.
See Alcantara with the ball now, dribbling with that hurt right hand.
Pettit. 14 on the shot clock. Taraza Alcantara. Peyton Perkins lets it fly from 3. Off the backboard. Double dribble on Cameron Sutton. Coming out of that rebound. Peyton Perkins, who just shot that 3, had 2 threes that electrified the bench last game when the Eagles were in this kind of situation. And I know she's got the green light from Coach Jones when she's in the ball game. Camille Logan gets it into Perkins. Rasheela Williams has checked in. She's going to slow play this one out. The Eagles are at home, like I said, on Tuesday against Wiley. Drive by Rasheela Williams into the trees, blocked away. Lewis driving. Gentle foul, I might say, on Williams. And for the month of February, the women's basketball team, 4 road games, 3 home games. For the men's team, 6 road games, 2 home games in the month of February. Jones did not like that call. And Leila Lewis connects on the second free throw. A 20-point lead for the Eagles. Ashlyn Lemos for 3. Might have gotten a piece of it, was Cameron Sutton on the contest. But when you think about what happened in this game, Zach, it was the unexpected. You know, the 3-point shots falling just like the snow did this past weekend for the Eagles. Everything was going right. And here's Perkins trying to put another one in. Doesn't. Amaya Henderson with the big board. She's fouled.
She'll take a trip to the line as the Eagles are now in the bonus.
But the Eagles' advantage in the 3-point ball game kind of just threw a wrench into Alexandria's plans, as well as the free throw line disparity, with 80% at the fourth quarter mark, excuse me. And that's kind of the game in a nutshell. And then the defense really stepped up for the Eagles in the second to third quarter and kind of did what they did last week against Texas College, which is run away with it in the second half. Price driving, free lane, and a free 2 for Michaela Price.
We'll see Coach Jones take a timeout only for a sub. We'll see Tyshell Harris check in.
Tyshell Harris, who got a lot of run in their last game. The freshman from Fayetteville, Arkansas. She's going to be a really good player. She's got a lot of promise. Athletic, can play inside and outside. Had 7 points off the bench last game. Here's her drive, and shot won't go, but she'll head to the free throw line.
A really good mixture as far as, classifications go. It's not really just dominant in one side. It definitely just kind of looking at it, there are a lot of juniors on the team. But, a lot of freshmen, a lot of sophomores, a lot of juniors, a lot of seniors. It is all kind of even in a certain way. So, you have a lot to look forward to, not only this year, but in the future as well with this squad. And a lot of familiar faces that are going to be sticking around.
It's a nice mixture. With just 4 players returning from last season's roster, the Eagles have turned it around in Deacon Jones' first season, leading the women's Eagles. They're going to head to 12-7 on the season. Gather, and they're calling everything now.
Going to call that on the floor.
Shot won't go, but they are in the bonus, so.
Foul called on Camille Logan.
So 11-7 coming in. 12-7 to make it on the season after tonight. 11-3 in the conference. And playing their best ball, I might add, for the last 3 games at least, you could say. Just by the box scores. They have ran away in the last 3 games. Here at home, all of them. Rifles a pass inside, picked off.
I think if you're the Eagles after this one, what you're most impressed with is, coming away with 7-3 home record. That's a testament of the Nest and how important it is to be playing here. We saw what this game was in Alexandria, a 2-point contest, and to have this be the outcome here tonight, you gotta be happy if you're an Eagle.
Absolutely, and the men's team also putting on a great product on the hardwood this year. And Coach Darian Brown's 2nd season at the helm. Basketball programs, both of them competing at a high level right now. 50 seconds to go, about 2 shot clocks away from becoming final. Cameron Sutton with the steal. She'll go coast to coast. As she's provided some minutes late for Alexandria.
Sutton only a freshman from Glenmora, Louisiana.
Camille Logan driving. Pick and roll action with Amaya Henderson. Out of bounds. Going to stay with the Eagles. So for the Eagles, they will head to, obviously staying here at home, which will be a 4th game in a row at home. Maybe 5, I might have to check on that, but coming up on Saturday, or excuse me, Tuesday, that's right, short week for the Eagles.
See another foul on the floor, this time on Cortland Rideau.
Sheila Williams getting to the free throw line. How about the uproar from the student section for Sheila Williams?
Hey, they've been giving it to the Generals every time that they've been coming to the free throw line. And so to see one go in for the Eagles, they got to give the same amount of reaction as love on that side.
She converts 2 for 2 and gets the energy back up in this building. 12 seconds. The Eagles are defending hard to the last second. Perkins forcing Price to the baseline. And a foul late with literally just 1 second to go.
I wonder if they have a quota they got to meet.
Certainly feels that way here late.
There was no fouls called in the 3rd quarter, and we've just had all of them called so far to begin this, or to the entirety of the 4th.
Yeah, that's a lot of whistle blowing here late in this one. It's just a stat stuffer, if you will. Price connects, and the Eagles will walk away victorious for the 12th time of this year. It's been a fun one. Great to have Texarkana Game Day in the house. John Wiggins, Zach Doty on the call for this one, and Chuck Zach will join in for the men's game coming up right after this in about, say, call it about 20-ish minutes for them to warm up.
Appreciate you, John, for helping us out here for Texarkana Game Day. Be sure to tune in on Facebook or on YouTube for this boys game to come here in a little bit. We appreciate everybody for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.